Hello, and thank you so very much for joining me tonight. I go by Lune, and I'm very honored today to be creating for you this little ASMR style by proxy energy work session. However, if you're not into that and you're not into this woo-woo spiritual energy work, what are you talking about kind of stuff, I never want anyone to feel imposed on. You can certainly use this just to help you fall asleep if you find it relaxing. But for those of you who are here for the, why I'm here, if I can say it that way, tonight our theme is going to be working to empower us in the dream space. This certainly could be for nightmares like we talked about in the last video, but I don't want to create like a rule or a limitation here in any way. When I say empowered in our dream space, what I mean is not necessarily only lucid dreaming or forced lucid dreaming in some way, but feeling confident, feeling unafraid, feeling like we're navigating that space from a place of perhaps opportunity, perhaps wonder, perhaps lesson, and bringing forth whatever that dream is trying to bring our attention to the consciousness, perhaps even to the subconscious processing. What I mean by that is sometimes there are things where it's okay to not consciously process them. There are some things that the subconscious processes for us. So if that's the case with this scenario, we'd like to invite the subconscious mind as well. All right. But like I said, getting something from the experience, essentially, being able to make a change perhaps, or come back to the waking life with a epiphany or a richer connection to the self in some capacity. We're all so different, so I'm struggling a little to pinpoint the theme in a pin it down kind of way. But I hope that you can set your own intention through this to work with, of course, empowering you in your dream space, empowering your subconscious, empowering your inner confidence and your trust in your own ability, trust in your wholeness. Who could take something from you? What dream could mess with you? What could make you have a weird morning, like you're so whole, you're so solid. None of that, like that kind of thing. All right, so let's get started. I'm certainly going to be using a few crystals, a candle, and matches. As you know, I just moved. I don't even have a bed frame yet. But I'm excited to check out the little metaphysical shops that I've been checking out online. Get some sprays for the videos, I should warn you too, you might hear the air conditioning come on and off. Forgive me, it's quite hot here. Right, like I said, I'm making do a little. I have a almost empty tin from an old candle. freshy in there for us today. Take my match. I'm afraid that's gonna fall. But this is a little incense match. It's kind of the only incense I have here right now, so we're going to use this. There we go. Just as a little offering. There we go. Get out of there, buddy. Alright, so if you'd like to set an intention of your own, if there's something specifically you know you're working on or you would like to connect with in your dreams. Sorry, let me get that focused a little better. Alright, just have a look at this candle, this little flame, and set an intention. Alright? So on behalf of the highest and greatest good, in perfect comfort and alignment, today we're here to work with and tap into unlimited source or universal energy, to channel it through time and space, and create a little energy work session to support the empowerment of each individual through their dream space, to help them identify the lesson, to connect the dots if there are any worth connecting from a conscious perspective, but also to allow the subconscious mind to process what the conscious mind just doesn't need to worry about. Let something happen behind the scenes, that's okay. You don't have to watch every single aspect of your development. We wish to empower us so that we feel whole and confident, unf-withable, We're just there, the observer, the receiver, should we choose to be. Alright, and again, please set your own intention if I've missed anything for you. Use this awesome, it's called Storm Witch little oil. I made a purchase from Vala's Perfumery recently, and this was one of the little gifts she sent me quite generously. And I actually charged this oil in the storm of Hurricane Dorian. Thank goodness my area did not get hit very hard by it, I have no words for the destruction it caused to the Bahamas, but I am grateful for my family and mine's safety. And I'm bringing this because I did charge it, like I said, during that time. And I think there's a very strong energy of safety, I want to say. I'm using very basic words right now. That was kind of cast into this during that time, or that I worked intentionally with during that time. Fala's Enchanted Perfumery is a beautiful shop. She has an Etsy and a regular website too. Not sponsored or affiliated, just sharing. And I'm just going to put a few drops right into the candle and then use it to anoint. I will turn off my phone. Give me 1 second. That was you, Bonnie. Alright. So, I'm just going to pour a couple drops in. Has a really nice smell and a tiny bit of like almond in it, I want to say, but I could be wrong. I'm not always right. Alright. I'm just going to use this to anoint the brow and connect with this like energy. Allow it to begin to gently penetrate through, only if, of course, your higher self or you accept. You always have free will. But for those of you who would like to participate, just imagine this going through their subtle energy, passing through the energy center of the third eye, traveling to the back of the mind, it has a confidence, has an energy of safety and power, I want to say. Security, standing tall and strong, knowing yourself, knowing your value, knowing that you have friends, you have helpers, you have angelic energies, and we'll talk about that a tiny bit. You can call on to protect you or stand by your side should that resonate with you. Alright. Then I'm just going to massage it a little bit into the back of the head. Right at the seal chakra point, essentially. Alright. Alright, so let's talk about a little bit of crystals that can be supportive. And I'm going to actually build this around you. And as I speak on each, and I have to thank a recent individual I've connected with the other day, because she helped me realize that this was something to share. But as I speak on each of these stones or minerals, in this case fossil, whether you like to believe in the power of crystals or not, we can use it as a physical tool to focus on, to excuse me, I'm slurring my speech today, but to access our subconscious. So this fossil, I love this one because it has this little quartzy bits in the actual pieces. Let's focus on grounding. Let's focus on life's lessons. And perhaps our ancestors, or all the strength that we've had in every life that we've lived, as you're into that kind of stuff. How we can magnetize that energy to us, those facets, like rings on a tree. Right, I'm just going to place that, like I said, around you, around you, around you. This is a black kyanite, one of my absolute favorites for holding the field, very protective, very purifying of energy, a great one to work with for the dream space, but in any sacred work, truly. They have this wing-like formation. I'm going to put this at the back of you a little bit. There we go. Here's a gorgeous brachiated jasper sphere, which is such a good one for dream recall, and I think that can be quite helpful for those of us who do need to process whatever our dreams are telling us in the waking life. Do you remember that movie? Do you remember that kid was in Dazed and Confused? And there was like a scene where he touched his face like 20 times, right on his nose. So again, dream recall is what we're working with today with this brachiated jasper sphere. And here comes the air conditioning. Right, I'm going to put this right in the center. Then I have a soft zone howlite, which is so relaxing to most people anyway. I think it's helpful for getting into that dream space, for going to sleep easily. And I feel like when we go to sleep a little more easily, everything kind of follows suit. So, howlite, very useful for falling asleep easily. I'm going to put this over to your right side. Then I have this really pretty green fluorite that my friend Lauren gave me. Thank you. It's a tower kind of shape, you could say. And fluorite is quite protective, we could say, of our energy field. But it's a very organizing stone, again, helping to process, to have awareness, to make sense of things. If there's sense to be made. I don't think every dream makes sense, not really. So we're going to just kind of focus in to the mind and channel in this energy to support making sense of things. And I want to encourage too, not to overthink it, not to overanalyze it. But if there's sense to be made, let's let it just come easily, not judge it. Discern, but not judge. Focus on the throat with this as well. And up to the third eye. Alright. And I'm going to put this just at the front here. Another soft energy stone. It's not truly a stone. I mean, it's glass. This is opalite, and it's actually, man-made, but made of typically fluorite, quartz, perhaps dolomite, and it does have a very soft, comforting energy. It looks very cool. Right? And just visualize this little egg around you. Something like this that covers you. And you can command to turn on the lights. Keep yourself in a space that you choose to be in. A confident, empowered, protected, aware state. So cool. So I think I'll put this on the right side of you. I'm sorry, the left side. A little dyslexia. The next stone is this angel hair quartz or rutilated quartz. It actually has a tiny bit of what I think is tourmaline, black tourmaline, and these golden rutils, which is actually what I have in my earrings today as well. And this stone, I'm going to get my candle again to show you, but this stone with these golden lines, oh, that's too much glare. I hope you can see them. But they say that can be like, but a line, like a direct line to your higher self, perhaps. It's like a telephone. Who do you want to call? Your higher self, your guardian angel, your guides to support and help you make sense of things. Archangel Uriel is my absolute favorite to work with, particularly when it comes to making sense of things and getting things done. So this is angel hair quartz for that purpose. Remember, you are whole, and that's what we're going to focus on in this. you've got this. But it is nice to know you can always call on some help if you're trying to work through something, if you're trying to be protected, if you're trying to, again, make sense and comprehend what you've experienced. Like a line, connector. Doesn't have to come right from above. It can come from any direction. Coming in to support you. Great. And I'm going to put this right with the bracelet jasper in the center. And finally, this will be a little difficult to see because it's very dark. But this is called Utilite. I hope I'm saying it right. It's these little, whatever you can see there that's kind of pink. That's the Utilite pieces in this stone. And I love this one for working with the Zeal chakra, the back of the mind, where we push things, very subconscious, our patterns, our beliefs. So we want to use this with intention to access goodness, that space. So that we always take the empowered path. We always know right away. It's not this questioning of self or anything like that in the dream space, but a knowing, a security, how do I say it? A healthy field, a healthy boundary that you hold, and you always have the key, don't you? You want to open and lock the door and let someone or something close to you, close to your heart, and have an experience together. Beautiful. But you can always keep the door locked. It's up to you, isn't it? So that's what I think can be helpful with that. Those different paths that go right to knowing that we're so capable. There's nothing we need to run from in the dream space. There's nothing that can do anything to us in a negative way unless we allow. So if there are paths that go right to fear right away, let's access those. Let's take them into this empowered state. I absolutely love this stone. Alright, and I'm going to put this towards the back where the black kyanite is, okay? You know, I just want to show you this fluorite in the light. So you can maybe see the rings in it, the pans, I mean. Maybe not. But it's beautiful, soft, kind of like minty green almost. Alright. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. Back of the knees is sweat. How lovely. So, cue the AC. I'm gonna center myself. Focus on the collective. Focus on those who are participating. Whether it's the day I post this or years from then. I am seeing a lot of green in the energy field. It's like I almost want to say sage green, but it's much more pigmented than that. Just trying to let myself see. It's kind of taking shape a little. Looks like some kind of moth wing or like beautiful ornate kind of moth wing, just like right in the front there. Cool. Alright, so of course let's set our intention again on behalf of your and my and everyone else's highest and greatest good and perfect comfort and alignment. The intention today is let's focus to clear a little bit of anything that's kind of sticking to us from the day, anything does not belong to us, anything that does not serve us, that's been kind of stuck. You want to focus on cleansing, combing through, and then we'll move to this empowerment of, I want to say, can I say? The astral self, the traveling self, the dreamer, the empowered dreamer. So I'm gonna work through the aura, just cleansing, relieving any tension, sweeping away that which does not serve you. It's like kind of walk through other people's germs, kind of, that kind of thing. So that when we do enter the dream space, we know that everything that we're bringing there is ours. And if it's ours, then it's just a little bit better, isn't it? So combing down the body, over the head, down, past the shoulder, down the arm and the chest, to the hip, to the leg, to the foot, the other side, over the head, and down the body, past the shoulder, down the arm, down the chest, past the hip, down the leg, all the way to the foot. I'm going to focus on the back. So back of the head, down the back of the neck. I'm going to just place my hand here, right at the base of the skull, and channel to support redesigning the paths that we might take to be more supportive, more tapping into our own personal power, more trusting of ourselves. Clear thinking, comprehension. I want to say quick thinking too is kind of coming up. The ability to vocalize or express within the dream space, and then perhaps when we get out, if we choose to journal or record our dreams in some way. Alright, down the back of the shoulders, down the spine, down the back of the body, back of the legs, all the way to the heels and past. Great. So now we want to focus again to channel, to empower this confidence, this trust, this unwavering of self. Does that make sense? I'm seeing like an oil lamp or a candle holder. It looks vintage, maybe Indian or Tibetan. kind of opens like a flower, but it's brass. Okay. Alright. So again, I'm going to work mainly in the upper chakra area. And when I work with the chakras, it's definitely a more esoteric or Western way of working with them, just to put that out there. But first, I want to work with the crown, call through this energy of spirit, of the higher self, of trust, of connection, of support. I see a birthday cake, so happy birthday to whoever that is. Looks like a good amount of candles on there. Number 22 popped into my head, so happy birthday. Alright, I want to work in the third eye. The mental movie screen, but also the door to the astral senses. The astral self, the subtle self, the dream self. I see this confidence, this sure-footed observer walking to a peak on a cliff and overlooking. It's a little bit of like a Joan of Arc type vibe to me for some reason. I want to work to the solar plexus first. Just gonna let myself be guided. Or not first, but fill this area with confidence, with your authenticity or your potential to tap into your most authentic version of self or connection to self. And bridge, so down here, and bridge this energy through you to send that confidence and that will to the astral self, the dream self. Use some gentle Reiki symbols. To just have an awareness of all these perspectives is kind of what going through my mind. All is mind, especially as the dreamer. You can tell how hot it is by how quickly the air is turning on now. Hope it doesn't bother you. Right, the throat. Just wanna, I'm called to grab this again. just to support that comprehension, that awareness, that fluid thought, and fluidly putting the pieces together. I want to work with the root for that grounding, for that trust and safety. You're okay. There's no physical stuff going on here. This is the dream. We want to be grounded too, because when we're ungrounded, we wake up and we just feel a lot more out of sorts, you know? I'm sure we've all had that experience where it's just like you can't get going, and it's not really, I don't want to say we have to rush back here. I think we should take some time to let the soul return to the body kind of thing in the morning, if we want to call it that. But we do want to be able to be here, don't we? And not like be out of it all day and in a dream space during the day necessarily. Unless that's by choice, of course. I'm just going to focus on the root, the outer hips particularly, where my hands are. Just kind of send through, back and forth, crossing at the root area. Just brush down the legs. So we want to work in the aura a little bit. Just keep that astral self, that dream self, tough, you know. I'm going to bring in some red energy, some vital force, and some yellow, some intellectual a bit, some logic, some discernment. Wonderful. Alright, well, I hope that you enjoyed this little session. I hope it does serve you in some capacity, depending on what you choose to use it for. I have to especially thank those of you in the Patreon community. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 100 million times. You are the best. It's just so much for so many reasons too. So thank you. If you are interested in joining the Patreon community, we have different levels, and there are special videos over there that are just for patron. And, there's something for everyone, I hope. But if you're into this, there's something for everyone, I hope. Forgive me for hitting the mic there. I have to thank those of you who I've been blessed to work with, to connect with. I am so lucky to meet such amazing people and nerd out on energy work and crystals and auras and protection and meditation and hermeticism and all this stuff. It's the best. So thank you so much. I'm very much looking forward to this new phase of my life. So, thank you for the patience and grace while I adjust to it. And I just send you so much love. From the bottom of my heart, I bow to the divine that you embody, that I embody, and that we share. Thank you.